Sing it with me, Carter. Georgia. Oh, we were on different wavelengths there. I was going with who they have redo it. Noah Khan. They had someone do the Masters.
They had him redo the Masters song.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know the words. I just know the Georgia. And something else, and they do nice pan overs of Azalea Lane and all that stuff. As the number one golf fan on Cartercast, Carter, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Can I get a Georgia?
Yeah,
that was good. There we go. This is arguably the best week of the year. Number one, Masters. Number two, in the sports calendar. Number one, Masters. Number two, baseball season's underway. We're now in week, I guess, technically 3, almost 3. College basketball, we can stop acting like we care about that sport for now. That's
I agree.
The best thing.
Yeah, that was all a bit.
There was no moment. We don't need to do college basketball a minute, but when Michigan State, who I had winning my bracket, lost in the Elite Eight,
yeah,
I was like, I don't even have to worry about it anymore. I worried about it for a week and a half. Don't have to worry about it anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. College basketball's dumb. Like, it's just, why would someone cheer on, like, 18 to 22-year-old kids in a sport like that, and, like, for just stupid schools, and, like, I think it's just a stupid thing. Like, why would I ever cheer on college basketball? To be honest, I would even go as far to say sports are just dumb.
Sports in general.
Yeah, I think sports are, why would people care about sports? Why?
It does seem like...
And this has nothing to do with what happened on Saturday night.
Is it something to do with that team on your shirt? The Dukies. The Dukies.
Let's talk golf.
Capture the flag. Yes, let's talk golf. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get to picks. We're gonna get to all that stuff. Very rarely do I get to talk the dimpled ball with you, Carter, especially around Masters Week. So I'm going to be throwing little tidbits out there. I'm going to be asking you questions. And this is not to publicly humiliate you. This is just to get a grasp of what your Masters knowledge is. I want to start with this question. Can you, in descending order, starting from last year, how many Masters champions can you name me?
Oh, I can't do it year by year. I don't even want to try.
Can you... Who won it last year?
Scotty.
Okay. Do you know who won the year before?
Wasn't Scotty.
Spanish?
Oh, it wasn't Rahm, right?
It was Rahm.
It was
All
Rahm.
right, so we're 2 for 2. 2022, who won it? Repeat winner. Or he has won more than once. You've said his name already.
It did?
Yep.
Scotty?
Scotty won it in 2022. All right, and if you can get this one, this is Carter Knows Golf. 2021. Who won it? Japanese.
Hideki?
Can I get a last name?
Matsuyama or whatever?
Oh my gosh, Carter. You say you don't know anything about golf. You just rattled off the last 4 Masters champions. We won't count 2020 because, COVID year. But this is our Masters preview. We're going to try and keep it short, 15 minutes or so. What are your thoughts about the Masters? Just in general, as not a huge golf fan, is this the one golf tournament you actually pay attention to, or what's the vibe around the Masters as a non-golf fan?
Yeah, super casual golf guy here. It's awesome, but I don't want to lie to the people saying that I'm locked into every single shot on Thursday and Friday. The casual sports fan just isn't. They're lying to you if they are. You keep up with the leaderboard. You keep up with your drafts or your long shot bets you have or whatever. You have a top 5 bet, whatever. You keep up with that, but it's just the most aesthetically pleasing event. And some people. For me, it's a little bit sad as a basketball guy because the beginning of the end is near when the Masters comes around, because it's like, okay, it's the Masters, and it's like then it's just the NBA playoffs, and then we're back to square one, and then we're in summer, and then all of a sudden it's apple picking season, Dylan.
It's going to be here before we know it.
It might
The
already
apple
be here.
picking season is going to be here before we know it. Um, to break things up a little bit, I don't know if you know this. Masters champions. So the Tuesday, which would be it's Tuesday or Wednesday before the Masters, the previous champion is responsible for creating a dinner for previous Masters champions. Karter, let's say the year's 2032, 2038. Karter Bond has picked up golf and has won the Masters. In 2039, what is your Masters dinner of choice? I need an appetizer. I need an entree. I need a dessert and a side.
So, two things. One, I'll give you a serious answer to start off with. I thought about this, though. What if you did something so terrible and it gave food poisoning to the other players?
Sabotage.
Yes.
Wow. That I'd never thought of that. Now, then we have to think what kind of golfer, because golf is a gentleman's sport. Who would be a golfer to do that? I would not put it past Tiger. I would not put it past most of the live guys. I think that's probably the extent of that list.
No, but genuine answer, I'd probably go fancy, a little appetizer.
Ooh.
Maybe some sort of, nice bread. I like a bread as an appetizer, depending on what it is. And then I'd go simple. I'd go steak for the dinner. It'd just be the best possible steak money can buy.
Okay. Now, what about, would you go steak and potatoes, steak and steak fries? Or I guess that's technically potatoes.
I think I would go steak in some form of potato, whether mashed or, fried potatoes, baked potato, whatever, some form of potato.
What about dessert?
Peach ice cream.
Peach?
Peach ice cream's good.
I think that's what Scotty is doing this year. Or maybe I think it was Scotty.
If you get peach ice cream from like Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina in the right time of year, whoo.
That I gotta have some chocolate. That's what it is for me. But to expand on that, I'm going Italian. I don't know what a good Italian appetizer would be. Fried mozzarella,
Bread.
But I want to use the bread as my side. I want to use breads. Well, I guess breadsticks would make a good appetizer, and then we could go chicken fettuccine Alfredo for the entree.
Is this catered
No,
by
Caesar salad.
Is this
Caesar
catered
salad.
by Olive Garden?
I think I would have Olive Garden cater in my Masters dinner. So Karter Bond wins it in 2038. I win it in 2039. 2040, Olive Garden caters dinner to the Masters champion dinner.
So do you want my actual dinner then?
Give me your actual dinner. That wasn't
Okay.
your actual dinner?
So the appetizer would be Little Caesar's Crazy Puffs.
Nah,
for the
yes,
appetizer.
yep.
The entree would be a hot and ready pizza, and then the dessert would be a cookout shake.
Okay, so it was almost exclusively Little Caesars. That's why I thought you were going for the Little Caesars.
Yeah, I couldn't find. Well, I don't even know if Little Caesars has desserts. I feel like that's a real fat guy thing. If you know Little Caesars has desserts, you're like they have the M&M crusted cookie.
Just start rattling off menu item after menu item
Yeah,
after
you're
menu
like-
item.
They do a peanut butter M&M cookie at Little Caesars. I'm like, okay, if you know the Little Caesars dessert menu top and bottom, like it's Coach Gruden with a playbook, I think that's a problem.
There has to be some self-reflection at that point. The Masters, it is storied history. Obviously, the club, the tournament's been around forever. The historic green jacket. Here's one thing I can't do though, Karter, and you chime in as a non-golf fan, casual golf fan. This is the one tournament where they just let old farts keep on playing. And I'm thinking Bernard Langer, it goes out and shoots an 86 round one. Tom Watson, I don't even think he plays anymore, but he was on the range today. And I'm like, Tom Watson, old guy, old fart. And I'm like, why is he out there taking a range spot from these guys? There was someone you mentioned before we recorded. Who was it?
Fred Couples.
Fred Couples. Why is he out there playing with his orange golf balls on Thursdays and Fridays when there are other people out there more deserving?
Are there?
Is that a young boy, like young guy yells at cloud type deal?
Yeah, no, I think you let the old guys play. That's
But
kind of the
Karter-
charm about it.
But there are people out there whose dreams are to play the Masters, and their
But-
spots are being taken up by these guys who are not competitive.
Yeah, but the other problem with that is that those same guys were in that spot and made it there when the other old farts were playing in it.
So maybe they need to show some understanding and gratitude from where they came from. Hey, step aside. Let's let these guys that are going to be you in the future play. There needs to be a little bit of recognition there. It's like, okay, maybe I shouldn't go out and play a 7,600-yard course that Bryson and Brooks Koepka can't reach par fives.
What did the worst player get in the last couple Masters? Like, what's the worst score after Friday?
I remember Bernard Langer shooting a shockingly poor. Okay, so we have Fred Couples missed the cut. He was 12 over. That would have been after 2 days. So I don't know how those are split. Charles Schwartzel's another one, old guy. He's playing this year. He shot 11 over and got cut. That's after 2 days. Now, I will say, they're beating young guys. There's young guys on this list that they.
I was about to say. I was like,
so
plus 12's not that bad. Like,
there was one year, Bernard Langer, I'm looking it up, maybe 2022 Masters. Bernard Langer just went out and absolutely.
So,
I mean,
if the weather.
Yeah, okay, 22 over through 2 days.
So that's what I was going to say. If the weather conditions aren't catastrophic, if a player shoots 20 over, I think they're immediately done for the Masters. Like, hey, man, you can't come back. You're done. It's like a mercy rule on yourself in golf.
And that's in one round?
No, like if Thursday to Friday, if you end up plus 20 or more, then I think you're done.
I think that's
that's a fair rule.
I think that's fair. I think we need to talk to somebody up top and implement that because there's nothing more. That is just watching Fred Couples in a feature. Fred Couples, Bernard Langer, and Tom Watson in a featured group on Thursday, and nobody's watching them. They're just doing it to appease them. I'm over it. Who's watching? My grandpa's watching them. That's probably about it.
People are watching then.
But then that's not even true though, because then those guys have to navigate the Masters app. They have to figure out how to be able to watch the featured group.
Tennis gets wild card spots like Venus Williams when she's in her early 40s.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say something though. That's different because Venus Williams you can not know tennis and know the Williams sisters. You don't not know golf and then know Bernard Langer.
But that's just an example. Previous champions and stuff like that. You can get wild card spots for being a well-known name.
And that's true. Previous champions, if you win the Masters, you get a lifetime exemption into the Masters. I know they're exercising that, but I'm just saying maybe a little bit of wherewithal from the older gentlemen. Be like, hey, maybe I should give this spot to somebody else. I just want to see competition, Carter. Call me a fan of the game.
So are you saying? So you're officially anti-boomer then?
I'm anti-boomer in the Masters.
What about?
I'm anti-old guy. Now, if Bernard Langer wants to go play in the Valspar in the middle of April or in the middle of March, be my guest. But the Masters, no, not happening. You want to go play in some non-signature events and try and get, play your way into Arnold Palmer Invitational, be my guest. Don't do it in the Masters.
I'm going to ask this to other people as well, but I want to get your take as a golf guy because I know where you're going with it, but I'm curious as well. In San Antonio this past weekend, had a debate with my brother and buddy I was with that we were just sitting there talking at a Shake Shack in San Antonio. So, as an individual athlete, what is the best championship to win as the MVP? So, for example, the Masters, you just win the Masters. But with the Super Bowl, you'd win Super Bowl MVP. So, which sport would be the best individual award to win?
That's a tough question because a lot of that comes down to personal fulfillment. For me, it would be the Masters because I golfed in high school and college. I've never played football, so it's hard for me to. It's hard for me to care about. You never played
football? Oh, we knew that.
Yeah, all you guys knew that already. I've never played. I've played basketball, but not well, so I have no idea what that's like. And so for me, I guess it's golf because I played golf my whole life. Being a pitcher and being the World Series MVP would be pretty awesome.
We said that might have been at the bottom.
World Series MVP?
Yes.
It's different. it's different if you're like for offense. It's like you're Aaron Judge and you win World Series MVP. If you're a pitcher and let's say you go complete game shutout, game 5 or whatever, and you're the World Series MVP, that'd be pretty cool.
You're saying that's above being Super Bowl MVP.
For me, because
Yeah,
I don't
that's
care.
fair.
Like, what? Who cares about? I mean, if you played football, it's different, I guess. But I think it pertains to the sport you play. What did you guys decide on?
And we said NBA Finals MVP is by far one.
Really?
Because everybody remembers NBA Finals MVPs.
I think that might be a little bias creeping in. I don't know who they are. I don't know who.
Yeah,
NBA.
but you're anti NBA though.
No, I love the NBA.
Yeah,
as long as they keep letting Jaw do the guns, I'm fine with the NBA.
Oh, you want Ja to do the guns, and then you're upset about group economics playing in the bubble in Disney.
It is kind of funny to be pro-gun celebrations than anti-old farts playing in the Masters. That is quite a hill to die on. So NBA Finals won. Are there any other
NBA
notables?
Finals MVP won, and then it was probably the Masters too. Because
Really?
the Masters would be sick. And then I was saying that Super Bowl MVP and Wimbledon are right there next to each other.
Tennis would be pretty cool. I think the individual accolades matter more in the individual sports now that I think about it, which I guess comes as a given.
It comes as a given, but also like the Masters is the effing Masters. But the other thing is the Masters is still a trivia question.
That's true. Now, how about this? Was there any consideration of the fact that MVP awards at the NBA Finals, World Series, whatever it is, those are at their core subjective?
I think that's fair, but usually in basketball, it's not that subjective because it's a pretty individualized sport. And like with football, I think football and baseball. I think you're definitely onto something. Hockey, I would assume the same thing. Not super into hockey and whatnot. But those are more team-oriented, too. Basketball, I think, has the perfect blend of team plus individual, accolades and all that stuff.
Yeah. That was an interesting thought. I think I have to go Masters 1. Masters is going to be my number
fair.
1. All right. Let's talk about the course. We'll make this short. I don't want to bore people with this. I understand this isn't very fun, but the couple notes I want to make. 2025 Masters, first major of the year. Normally, this doesn't matter too much, the course layout. But last year, they extended a couple holes because of how far people were hitting balls. This year, Hurricane Helene came through in November, and it tore down some of the trees on the course, which is important to note. The 6th hole, the 11th hole, and the 16th hole all have had trees removed. People have stated that is opening up shots off of the tee, so things are a little bit less narrow on a course where being accurate off the tee hasn't really mattered as much as putting approach around the green. So, noteworthy stuff there. We might see some bombers, John Rahm, Bryson DeChambeau, Brooks Koepka. Scotty's not really a bomber. He hits it long, but we might see some more thriving there for the long hitters. A couple fairways and a couple contours around the green were refined. They smoothed out a couple of hills around the 9th green, which I think is a par 3. So missing that green is not going to hurt as much. All of this to say, that's pretty much a summary of the course. I think it's going to play, as long as the weather is nice, which I haven't looked at yet, I think it's going to be pretty score friendly. I think we're going to see some low scores, especially in the early rounds, and then maybe around Saturday and Sunday, they're going to try maybe firm the course up a bit, maybe try to lengthen things out. But I do think we could see very low scores, especially from who will eventually win the Masters. So it looks like I have you on the weather, Carter.
Yep, weather forecast here, CarterCast, your CarterCast meteorologist, Carter Bond here. Thursday, it's going to be high of 77, low of 55 in Augusta, Georgia, mostly sunny with an 8% chance of precipitation.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Beautiful. There's morning showers on Friday, and then after that, it's clear. I mean, the worst it gets the rest of the weekend, besides that, is like 73 degrees. It is going to be gorgeous in Georgia.
It sounds like we'll see low scores Thursday and Friday before the cut. Friday, that rain in the morning will soften things up. And then I bet on Saturday and Sunday, they either put the pin in some tricky spots to make the scoring environment a little bit tougher. Normally for this tournament, it's not real. It's not like a U.S. Open where a lot of people are going to be over par, but it's also not like a Mexico Open or some of the smaller tournaments where you're going to see 27, 28 under. Usually 8 to 14 under. So I expect to see closer to the 14. Karter, golf expert, who do you like for this tournament? Tony Finau's your guy. I see his wife on TikTok all the time.
Tony Finau's my guy. Tony Finau has been doo-doo cheeks so far this season in golf. He has been awful. And I keep up with the scores. I'm not saying I'm sitting there locked into the Golf Channel every weekend to catch the occasional Sunday, but Tony Finau's been terrible. I'm still going to bet on Tony Finau.
Well, of course. And what odds are those?
I think 80-1.
He usually puts on a decent performance at the Masters. Not bad. The dude can't putt. That's his biggest thing. But if he's going to be able, if the trees being knocked down open things up, he's not going to be penalized. He doesn't hit the ball very accurately off the tee. So if there's more area for him, I think he's going to thrive. I did not bet him, but I'm always rooting for Tony. Did I ever tell you I served him breakfast? Served him lunch at a U.S. Open qualifier? Springfield Country Club, Springfield, Ohio. He had to qualify for the U.S. Open, and I was a volunteer. Nice guy.
Yeah, nice guy. Nice guy. I think he went. Did he go to BYU?
I don't know, but I know he's Utah born and raised. He was in that full swing. First season full swing.
I know he's very much associated with everything at BYU, and a bunch of his he's had family on the football team and stuff like that. Shout out. Did he even play college?
I don't even know.
Stats department.
We got Tony Finau deep dive.
He did not play college.
Did not play college. Went straight to the professional tour. So, pick number one for you, Tony Finau, 80-1. I hate picking outright winners because I feel like I pigeonhole myself so much. Number one, we're just going to go Jordan Spieth. Jordan Spieth has had success at this tournament before. He was suffering from the wrist injury early in the season, but he said it's gotten better, especially when the weather's warm. He doesn't feel it as much. We know he can putt. He's coming off of a tied for 12th finish at the Valero Texas Open last week, and he has to perform well here in order to be able to get into events down the line. He's qualified for all the majors, but the signature events, he's going to have to perform well in all the tournaments outside of those signature events. This is one of them. I think we're going to see Jordan Spieth. 35-1 is what I saw. He's won. He's performed well. I like Jordan Spieth. Karter?
I like it. I'm in. Let's do it. Is that your favorite long shot, or you got one that's like 20,000?
Oh, Karter, we've got plenty of long shots. Let's go with this one. This is mid shot for me. Corey Connors, 65-1. I put $2 on this. He's coming into the tournament in top form, 4 consecutive top 20 finishes, 3 of those which were top 10 finishes heading into the tournament. His history at Augusta, I believe he has 3 top 20s in the last 5 years. He missed 3 top 10s in the last 5 years. Only missed 1 cut. There was a datagolf.com did an interesting study, and they said that Canadians have more success at Augusta compared to other nationalities. I think that might be corollary and not a causation thing, but still interesting to note. Corey Connors, 65-1.
Love
Does
it.
it pass?
Yeah, I love it. I'm in.
Do you have any more winners?
I had Tony Finau written down. Maverick McNeely, shout out. Maybe I want to go down. I want to be cool, and I want to get a guy in the 20,000s range. So, and that's why I'm on here. Is like I want to get someone in the 15 to 20,000 range. Dylan, give me a long shot that has a chance.
JT Poston, 200-1.
200-1.
200-1. I think it was at Bet365.
All right.
The guy struggled this year, but he can putt. He's decent off the tee. He won't be. He's not super accurate off the tee, which I think is going to not play in his favor, but it's going to hurt him less here than it would other courses, especially with those trees being down. The guy, when the putter's hot, it's hot. 200 to 1 JT Poston. And I'm assuming that's a guy you have never heard before.
Never heard of his name in
There
my
we go.
life, but I will be putting the price of a 2018 McChicken on it.
Is that $1?
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. Simpler times. Real quick, I'll power through these. I did Denny McCarthy, kind of the same thing. Putts very well, has had success at Augusta before. He's 140 to 1. Taylor Pendrith, another Canadian, at 125 to 1. He has length off of the tee, which is a little bit different than a few of these guys I have. Not very accurate, but he can make up ground if he can hit the ball pretty far. And I think it's going to be a little bit more forgiving off of the tee than in years past. Patrick Reed, previous winner, has played extremely well at the Masters. Even when he joined LIV, he 3 top 10s and 4 top 20s in the last 5 years at Augusta, and then another tie. He was tied for 35. So Patrick's been crushing it. Even on LIV, the competition isn't as tough, but he still put up good numbers. So, and then my last one, Russell Henley, 55 to 1. He's like your lunch pail kind of guy. He putts well, he drives well, he drives far, he drives accurate. But he doesn't do anything exceptionally well. He does a lot of things average to good.
I love it.
Russell Henley.
Just conservative golf right there. That's your kind of guy.
Conservative golf, not taking too many risks, just kind of going with the flow, taking what the course gives you.
When you play golf, do you go for a lot of risks, or are you like, I'm going for this shot, or are you pretty, let's lay it up? In
my professional playing career, when I was playing college and high school, a little more on the line, I would be a little bit more conscious. But now when I'm out with the boys, unless we're like betting big money, go for the par 5 and 2. Who cares if it goes in the woods? I got plenty of golf balls, so I'm more of a risk guy now. But when I played and I had a team that my score was important for, I took it a little bit more seriously. Something tells me you're out there hacking at everything.
No. I would play pretty conservative, to be honest.
Really? Why? It doesn't matter.
Well, once, because I don't want to lose golf balls, because I will lose golf balls.
That's fair. I guess I forgot my grandpa works on a golf course.
Yeah, but like I played a par 3 yesterday down in Texas, and like par 3s, I think that's so fun.
Par 3 courses.
Par 3 courses are so fun.
Wow, okay. I could not tell you the last time I played a par 3 course.
Go play one for me and tell me what you think.
I'll have to. We have one close to our house. So I actually played in a league at a par 3 course when I was a kid.
It's got to be cheap. It's got to be like, what's the most you're paying for a par 3 course?
Oh, brother. I don't know. I have no price point.
Really?
It's $15? Is it 9 holes?
9 holes. I would say like $20, $25.
20, 25 bucks. Now, let's be honest, Carter. Par 3 course, 9 holes. You're not taking a cart, are you?
Depends.
What does it depend on?
Depends on how much time I have.
Okay, that's fair. The time excuse is fair. That's a fair one.
Yeah, it depends on how much time I have. We did use a cart, and there was no point.
Just because it was so short, there was nowhere to go.
There was no point.
That's all the winners I have. I did want to hit you with some Masters trivia real quick. Carter, Masters trivia. People that attend the Masters and go to spectate, what are they called?
Citizens.
No. Do you have another guess?
No. Patrons.
That's it. They're patrons.
Okay.
You cannot. The broadcast cannot refer to spectators, patrons, as fans or spectators. They have to call them patrons. What is at Augusta? You can't call the rough the rough. What is it called?
Oh, I know. I saw this clip too. What was it?
The second cut. The second cut.
What's the point of this?
Well, the point of what? The term second cut, or why they have these rules?
Why they have those rules on the broadcast?
It's ingrained in the tradition. There's a certain level of respect for the people that, It honestly, I've been once for practice round. It feels like it's whole world because the town around it Not the nicest town, surprisingly enough.
No, the weird thing is I've only driven through Augusta. I stopped in, went to a gas station like right next to where the Masters supposedly was. Don't they have like all those walls around it? Like you can't see anything or whatever from it. And so the town around it, not that great, obviously, but it does feel like one of those events you go and it's like, oh, it's one of those like sacred type places, you know. There's very few places in sports where you're like, okay, this is just completely different than anything else in the world.
It's definitely a bucket list thing to go to if you can ever get tickets. Tickets are like you have to win the raffle, and then they're like $100 for practice round and $150 for actual round. What is a daily household item that you cannot take into the Masters?
Phone.
Phone, good answer. Last one. This one shocks me to this day. I read this yesterday and I was shocked that this was allowed. What year was the first female member inducted into Augusta National Golf Club?
So it must be super late. It must, because it's like when Shane Gillis talking about Alabama putting black guys in their secondary. They didn't do it. They had this whole documentary about Bear Bryant. You know, he was the first guy to integrate Alabama football, and then you find out it was in 1972 or whatever. It's like, we'd been to the moon before Alabama had black guys in the secondary. So women at the Masters.
Not at the Masters.
Inducted.
Members of the club.
I feel like it is ridiculously late for no reason. Go 03.
Karter, 2012. 2012, the first female member was inducted into Augusta National Golf Club. Do you have any idea who it was?
No clue.
Condoleezza Rice. Condoleezza Rice was the first one in 2012. I have one more that I just remembered, and then I want to talk about the Masters menu too, and then we'll get off here.
I have a couple things to hit too as well, so we'll go quick.
Okay. Last piece of trivia. History of Augusta National, there has been one president that has been a member of Augusta National Golf Club. Do you know who that president is?
Bush.
No, that's a great guess, though. Same
Reagan.
party. No. Earlier.
Ford? No, not Ford. Was it Nixon?
Not Nixon. I can give you his presidential slogan that might give it away if you're knowledgeable
Eisenhower?
about presidents. That's it. I like Dwight Eisenhower. The only president to be a member of Augusta National. Do you want to hit your points before we go over the Masters menu?
Two things. One, what's Tony Finau's first real name?
Oh, I didn't know you were giving me trivia. Antonio?
No, that's too easy.
So it's not even close to Tony.
No, it is an old white guy name.
Could you give me the letter it starts with?
M.
Maximilian?
Milton.
That's what I mean. Tony, you got to pull Tony out of thin air if you're named Milton. It's like, oh, I don't want to go by Milton. Well, what do you want to go by? Tony.
It says his nicknames on Wikipedia are Tony and Big Tone. So shout out Big Tone.
I think every Tony is Big Tone though.
Every Tony's Big Tone.
Yeah, that's not groundbreaking.
The other thing I had was I need Dylan hot takes back. What are we doing here? Give me a player that's not making the cut on Friday.
Oh my gosh. Okay, you're gonna have to give me a second because I want to pull up the odds.
We can take time. I can burn time a little bit, but I need you to give me a player that's gonna miss the cut because I remember we did this. I think it was 2 years ago, if I remember correctly, and you were out and about saying, Tiger, do not just bet Tiger to miss the cut. And I think we even got some decent traction on that video. And people were like, you idiot. No, Tiger's making it. You don't mess with Tiger. And then Tiger did not make the cut.
I remember I went big on that because that was
like a 12-star play.
There was a number. They put a number out there that it should not have been. I also remember, I don't know if you remember the story of Michael Block. He was PGA professional that I think made the cut, played pretty well at the PGA Championship, and then everybody just started giving him sponsor exemptions into all the tournaments. He ended up getting a sponsor's exemption into the Masters, and they put up plus money for him to miss the cut at the Masters. It was not up there for very long. That was another peak Dylan gambling moment. Was like, okay, I feel like I kind of know what I'm doing. Okay, Hot take. I'm looking at the odds to miss the cut. I like Rory at 5-1. The guy's playing hot golf. I give him that, but he has always struggled at the Masters. This is like the one that got away. This is the only major championship he needs to do the career Grand Slam. He's won all of the other three. I remember Nike releasing hype videos when I was in high school about Rory McIlroy winning the Masters in order to get the Grand Slam, and he still hasn't done it. For some reason, this place always haunts him. I don't like the fact that the trees are down, and it might be a little bit more open because that's his one issue. That and putting. If he's not on his A game putting, it's going to be a long weekend, long Thursday, Friday for Rory. Looking at this list, Xander Schauffele coming back from the rib injury. He's a couple tournaments back, but at 3-1, I'm always going to bet against that. I like all these other guys. I don't know.
I love it. That's good enough for me.
Brooks always plays well. I'm not going to bet on him to miss the cut. Max Homa, I don't even know. I think he's minus odds now, but he's been playing awful, and I don't see how. Oh, yeah, he's down to minus 150 now. It was even money this morning. But I don't know. He's been playing awful all year, and I don't know how you get back on track at a course like Augusta. He would be another one that's not as hot of a take, but minus 150 to miss the cut for Max Homa. Rory Schauffele Homa.
Isn't it crazy the fact that Tiger was minus odds to win the Masters?
I saw that today. By far one of the craziest stuff. And it really, Scotty dominated golf last year. Scotty dominated. And he was still plus 200 to win a lot of these tournaments, which is crazy. To imagine someone minus odds to win implied odds of over 50% to win a golf tournament is crazy to think about. No less the biggest golf tournament in the world.
And he
still can't stand him. And he won it. Yeah, the fact that he won it in 2019 is crazy as well, but that's a whole nother conversation.
That is still one of the most underrated sports moments of my life.
I think it flies under the radar a lot.
I don't
think
if
he were to ever compete, no. And I'm not the first one to go to bat for Tiger, but in historical context, that's to go through everything that he went through, not just the off the course stuff, but all the injuries. And like, he won it in a year he wasn't playing a full PGA schedule too. He wasn't playing at this time in 2019. Scotty he wasn't on the scene, but guys like Spieth, Thomas, they were playing full schedules. Tiger was not, and he still shows up and wins it. That's very impressive. I cannot like the guy, but admit that. Wait, what'd you say?
Finau choked against Tiger.
Finau choked. Do you have any recollections of the 2016 Masters where Jordan Spieth choked it away?
Yeah.
Threw 2 balls in the water on 13.
Yeah.
That's another where were you moment. It was like by far one of the biggest meltdowns in sports when Danny Willett won the Masters because Jordan Spieth threw it away in the 11th hour. Crazy. People say golf's boring. You're just watching the wrong golf.
Yeah, and like I said, I think Big Cat said this a billion times. That Sunday Masters is the best nap of the year.
I'm not going to argue with that. I don't nap.
Yeah,
that'd be like you saying that you sleep in March. I don't nap during the Masters Sunday. Actually, the Masters at all. But I could see that. Very, very serene, very relaxing.
I feel like you're going to wake up early, get yard work done, and then just sit there and watch the Masters all day.
On Sunday?
Saturday?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I could watch it all day. You know how you and Cole and G-Fed and G-Man and J-Man Choi and all those guys are like, oh, Thursday, Friday, it's the best 2 days of the year. I'm not doing any work or whatever. That's what Thursday and Friday of the Masters is. I'm just watching golf shot after golf shot. I'm applying this year. I already talked to Abby. I said, if I apply for Masters tickets and we get it, would you want to go to the Masters? And she said yes. So hopefully we can
call me.
Well, we could buy tickets for you.
You get 4?
I don't know how much you get. I would assume that if you win, you get first claim. I don't know how it goes, but we'll wrap this up because Jack specifically asked. I don't know if you saw from the Cartercast X account. He was tweeting about the Nuggets thing. He's like, "Oh, I don't know when your next NBA show is. Please don't mention the Nuggets coach getting fired." I tweeted back at him. I said, the best we can do is a Masters preview. How does that sound? And he says specifically he wanted a breakdown of the food menu for this year. Are you
Okay,
familiar
let's
with the
do it.
pricing concept?
Yeah, where it's like $1.50. They're like, "Isn't the Masters price is awesome?" And you're like, "Well, they paid thousands of dollars to get in the door." And then it's like, yeah, it's what, $2 for like a chicken biscuit or something.
Yeah, so let me see if I can. This is gonna stink. I might have to save this, and I don't even know if I can do that. But
I
you can
think you're
kind of
good.
see, right?
Yeah, you're good. I can see it.
Okay. Um, everything on the menu costs $77. You can buy one of everything. So Carter, I beg you the question: Masters, let's say practice round. So you don't have to worry about farting, burping, or whatever. You get $15. Where are you going?
Yeah,
What's the game plan?
breakfast, we're going chicken biscuit, no questions asked. That's an
Mhm.
easy one. Probably bottled water. Or probably, I want multiple bottles of water.
You keep going.
Definitely put a soft drink in there. For the lunch, I guess I'd go with a barbecue sandwich, a pork barbecue sandwich. That's probably the wrong move. And then maybe a little snacky snack going on here. I'd probably get some Georgia. Maybe get a little of that ice cream sandwich action.
Let's see, Georgia peach.
Yeah,
Oh, well, that makes sense because that's what you're having at your master's dinner.
yeah. I think that's the move.
So, a couple water bottles, chicken biscuit, Georgia ice cream sandwich. What else did you say?
Barbecue sandwich. I think that's $13.
Carter, I think we might be the same person.
You go on the exact same path.
Chicken biscuit, I had it when I went. I'm getting that again. Barbecue sandwich. I've never had the pimento cheese or whatever it is.
I'm not a pimento cheese guy.
It doesn't sound very appetizing. I don't know. I'm definitely getting a Master's Blend fresh brewed coffee in the morning. Breakfast sandwich? No, I'll skip that. I'm definitely not getting the fruit. I'll probably get a bottle of water. No beer for me. No wine for me. I'm getting barbecue chips. I don't know what the Southern cheese straws are. And I'll probably get a cookie. I don't know what that makes my total at, but that is definitely the food items I'm getting. I think 1A's got to be the chicken biscuit.
How was it?
It was great. It was like okay, this is going to be really niche. You go to McDonald's, you can get a chicken biscuit. Sometimes they just give you literally the McChicken patty on a biscuit. Is that what you're familiar with?
I've had a couple of those.
Some McDonald's, they give you a hearty chicken fillet, like not the McChicken patty. Like
Yeah.
I don't know where else they put this slab of chicken other than the biscuits. I would equate it to that. And Darren Ravel said something like, hot take, you get what you pay for at the Masters. No, the food's pretty good. The reason why I got up is because I get one opportunity a year to flex. I hijacked a water bottle out of the Masters, and then
Nice.
I don't know why I didn't put this on the jacket, but I guess we went the year Tiger won, because that's 2019.
Is the pro shop a disaster?
I don't remember it being a poor experience, but we also went on a practice round day. But I think at the Masters, it might not matter if you go practice round or regular round.
I feel like the pro shop would just be a nightmare there, but they probably have it so down with everything.
I don't. The concessions were almost like a warehouse. I mean, it was kind of shocking how the concessions were set up. But I feel like I would remember if it was a poor experience, and I don't remember it being a poor experience. But
Gotcha. I love
that's what it is. All right. Masters preview. That pretty much wraps it up. We went a lot longer than I thought we would. Do you have any last notes? I mean, is there anything you want to say about the Masters? Golf's the best sport ever. I'm really excited to watch. Anything like that?
I'm excited. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited. Like whatever you feel about this. Like even I know you're a casual college basketball guy. You still tuned into parts of the tournament and whatnot. The Masters is the same thing. Like every casual sports fan, make sure they tune into the Masters. It's the best golf event. It's amazing to watch on TV. And one day, it's a bucket list item. One day, I hope I get to go. And Dylan, we have this problem here whenever you and I have recorded lately, that massive BYU basketball breaking news hits every single time. I had a coach reach out to me like 10 minutes ago, and then all of a sudden news leaks while we're on here.
What is it? Igor Demin flipped. He's come back to BYU?
No, a certain player is committing to BYU.
Ooh, Danny Wolf.
No, we couldn't get our sweet Danny Wolf. He's going to the league, Dylan. Michigan's gonna be good next year.
Preseason number 5. I stay abreast. I stay abreast on the college basketball world.
I love it.
All right, Masters recap. I'm not going to power through the winners again. Go back and watch them. Corey Connors, Jordan Spieth, a bunch of others. Tony Finau.
Thank
you guys for
Maverick
watching.
McNeely. JT. Poston, yeah.
Did you choose Maverick McNeely because of the name?
No, we spun a wheel yesterday, and whoever we're at, like 1 through 50 or whatever, and whatever they were ranked, you pick that player.
Okay, Maverick McNeely, Maverick McNeely, all-time name, all-time name guy. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Until next time.